Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Fancy meeting you here and all, and I think I've been living under a rock. So one of my friends on here, I love when people come up with suggestions for me. They're from Australia, and they recommended that I make something called floater pie. Floater pie. I said, never heard of that one. New one on me. And apparently they've been around since the 1800s. So I've really been living under a big old rock. So apparently they were quite popular in England as well as really popular in Australia. So without further ado, let's get on over to the stove, and we got to get those meat pie part going first. So let's get them going. All right, so we got to get the meat part together before we can make that meat pie. So we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a half teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of chopped up garlic, 1/4 cup of chopped up mushrooms, 1/4 cup of chopped up carrots, and 1/4 cup of chopped onions. So we're going to start by warming that all up. Now that we got that all warming up, it says we can use a pound of either lamb, ground chicken, or ground beef, and I am opting for the ground beef. Now we're going to go ahead and chop this up like you would for, if you're making a meat sauce or something, and we're going to cook it down in with all of those nice spices and veggies. Once all those meats and vegetables are all cooked down and nice, we want to add in a half a cup of brown gravy, and that's going to keep it nice and moist, so the recipe says. And we're going to stir that all together. There we go, looking good. Alrighty, it's time to get on to making the meat pies. The meat is all done. So apparently the English use any pastry that they want, like they can use a pie crust or whatever, but the Australians are very fond of the flaky, more like the crescent roll type crust. So I got, thank you Pillsbury, I got one of these rolls of these crescent rolls things. So we're going to start with that. This is my favorite part, you guys. You know my favorite part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Just saying. Alrighty. So now this is, I didn't realize I only got 1 container, so this is only going to make 4. So I think we're going to have leftover meat on this one. But I'm just going to make 4. So we're going to start by unrolling this. And so we want to keep 2 together for each one. And I'm going to mend the seam together to make sure that they stay together. We're going to start with that. Now that I have the seam mended, I'm going to take the pastry and I'm going to put it right into a muffin dish. And I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to make sure that seam stays together because we don't want the meat and everything all, oozing out and everything. There we go. So you want to make sure that it's going to cover the whole pie dish, the whole, pie thing, the muffin cup, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to go ahead and put in a healthy scoop of the meat sauce, the meat, I guess it's not really a sauce. And then we're going to fold it all in because it's got to be all closed up good. So I'm going to do this with all of them. Let me get these all in together. These are going to be good, I think. I think these are going to be good. We're going to be floating, baby. We are going to be floating. Yeah. Let me do the rest of them. I think this probably would have made about a dozen, but anyway, I'll figure out something to do with the rest of the meat. But here they are. They look great. I'm going to pop these in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes, it says. And then that part's going to be done. So did I tell you guys this is supposed to be a really popular street food in Australia? I'll have to check it out next time I get to Australia. All right, so the part you guys have all been waiting for. What is the floater part, right? Right? Okay, so apparently it is mushy peas. Mushy peas. So they did give me a recipe. I could make homemade mushy peas, or they said a lot of times they use canned mushy peas. I couldn't believe it. My little market actually had authentic, I think these are English though. I think these are English, but close enough because that's where they say they're also very popular. So I'm going to take these mushy peas, and now you're supposed to warm these up first. So we're going to Oh, look at this. Look at that. Would you look at that? OMG, OMG. So I'm going to put them in this microwave safe container or glass bowl. And I'm going to put them all in here. Wow. This is something. Not sure what's in them, but okay, these are mushy peas. Let's go warm them up. Okay, so everybody I'm sure has been asking this question. So what exactly are in mushy peas? So I'm gonna let you know because I've never made them. Okay, mushy peas are peas, oh surprise, peas, water, sugar, and salt. Okay, there you go. Now you know. We all know now. All right, it's time to make the pies float. All right, so we're supposed to put in a healthy serving of like this mushy peas in the bottom because the meat pie is supposed to float on them, right? Okay, you can see they're nice and warm. And now hopefully these meat pies will come out carefully. Oh yeah, they coming right out. Look at that, look at that. Okay, now you rest this right on top. You float it on top of the mushy peas like that. Now you're supposed to either drizzle it or serve it on the side. A ketchup sauce. So there you have it. So now I'm gonna let this cool for just about a minute or two before I let Meg know it's ready, because if she burns her mouth, that's gonna just spoil it. So here we go, ready for some street food. It looks just like the picture.
Okay.
This is floater pie. This is very popular since the 1800s as street food in Australia and in England. So in England, they use any kind of pie crust. Oh yeah, let a little steam out. But in Australia, they recommend more of a flakier, so that's why I use the crescent roll. So,
she was so excited when we found her mushy peas.
I'm so excited. And now you can either drizzle it or use the ketchup as a dipping sauce. Either one. So here we go. I'm going to put just a little bit on my fork. There you go. It's steaming. It's actually pretty good.
I like that.
Wow. This isn't bad, guys. Gotta try this one.
Mushy peas.